Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Forex Expo live and live with our next broadcast here. I'm joined again by our CEO, Pavel Spirin, and this time also by our Chief Revenue Officer, John. This conversation is going to be around the 360 crafting of the MENA client experience, which in a personal opinion is really important. We see ourselves as a global broker with a local touch. So we're going to cover today and discuss around these factors and how we've changed our clients. So Pavel, obviously we discussed last time about some of the aspects there. So I'll give John first up.
Yeah, of course.
For yourself, John, we have a scope coming into the MENA region with us growing. What do you see as, let's say, the top two key points for us embracing the local culture and becoming part?
I think number one is certainly building trust. That's a lot easier said than done behind. But two things I think can really help with that is having a local local presence. Not necessarily in the EU, but Egypt and some other countries as I find and so on. And of course, showing that you are open to becoming or local by translation when you can. Website, lifestyle and education material, lessons. I think there are two fundamentals for most regions, what's the separate plan.
And then following up on that, obviously we're talking about like the MENA region. We talked about the Arabic speakers and demographics within the region, which obviously the whole people. However, we obviously have a huge expat population from the Philippines, from Southeast Asia, and even into parts from Western Europe, America.
Yeah.
How do you see, let's say, ourselves as scope, as well as catering to the local hatred to that expat?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think, just on John's point as well, just to expand a little bit, I think customer experience is everything. And in this context, regional customer experience, we have to regionalize, we have to localize ourselves. That's the key, really. So to your question around that, I think we have to identify what are the demographic groups, are here. We know that, for example, the UAE, if you like, citizens here are 10%. The rest are expats, really. And so I think it's around like what, for these demographics, do we have the language support? Is our website, is our product available in the language of, for what these demographics speak? Do we have the customer service, that can provide service? Do we have account management that can provide support in your local language? Maybe some of these guys as well, they don't just come here and sort of, drop off everything they used to have in their host countries, Perhaps some of the payment methods, that they used to use, we can accommodate that. We see, for example, that a lot of the expats are transacting in the USD, like here in the UAE. So, I think these are important considerations. So it's like double complex in a sense. We have to be local for the for UAE, well, for the MENA region, but also take into account some of the localized aspects of these expat community from their host countries.
Yeah, I think obviously we're talking about custom service languages, and obviously the digitalization of these products, I think is really key as well. With 60% of the population being in 30, the big expat, we are seeing that digitalization. From scope perspective, how have we digitalized the product, and how are we going to continue doing that to give our clients the advantage of not just on an access job, but also access to more and more products as we move along?
So it's, my positive, and jealous of fussing weird side made good since that. I think, maybe said at the end was the money or monetization. So we have to really ensure that, our service around our product is very stop.
Yeah.
And we're not going to move. However, we all want to continue to add a wide range of works. Most recent areas about $1 that gives people the ability to, trade something that video with, something to see, something to feel. Well, I think to a lot, because younger than I might have this specific thing. Having that availability on a mobile platform, mobile versus fundamental, I want them, and most readers want to me now. But to do that, and also have tools people can identify there, have access to trading is must.
I think it's something we've all discussed. We're a global broker that we have a look at. Yeah, obviously, whether it's here, Southeast Asia, Africa, LATAM, it is that approach. And kind of following up on that, we obviously look to not just provide the local product, something he's going to do. So you take a local license, maybe that's something you could do as well.
Yeah, so we are in the process of, local license acquisition. Licenses, the right regulatory. Very important because we want to, ultimately, we want to do things in a long-term way, not sort of enter the market, do some business and then exit. So, yeah, we are looking at the local license acquisition and ultimately, expand on that.
So one of the things we were discussing there is scope and introducing it to involve. Now, obviously, most of them brokers, they receive it at the X day. a brand from the ground up, i.e. retail traders expanded up and become some of the potentially liquidity lines. Where Scope obviously has been in the marketplace for 10 years. And it's the reverse. It's right from lockdown. So the very industrious liquidity option, very, demanded one with a large market share. How do you see that playing into Scope for obviously differentiating us for not only the MENA market, but the greater as well?
Yeah, it's a good point up. And I think, one of the one time side where it's benefited us the most is, the very short period of time, now with such some trust and board lines that residency. So our local bank accounts are quite linked now for around that beyond high bill taking a private money out due to outbid to the point, due to our relationships, we trade in we even with the price of that. Just really being massively classic fishery. But for the southern segue into non-conform retail sales, we have the variation background as an engine. I would have recognized certainly on some Diablo process here in this room. We have as much as not the liquidity sitting. Very strong execution, stick figures last time we got counted. So I think naturally that makes us look like effort and hold this type of client in this region, be more on net worth, rather than the thing wanting to slope the bows, keep that over taking off again. And because that's kind of our bread and butter anyway, it's a very easy transition for us to offer similar kindly sides to a retail wood target.
Keep following with that point of the thing we discussed about the institutions. Like, do you see our product offering being true multi-asset broker? I mean, not just a derivative, we're offering multitude. Do you see that as the aspect Pavel going forward, especially for the MENA region?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, actually, we were just on the panel talking about a multi-asset proposition, and I think we had a number of people from other companies, CEOs, and they're talking about the same thing. I think it's fundamental. I think obviously CFDs and Forex is a good start. But we're a larger, group, if you like. We have companies inside the group. So, having being able to provide access to futures market, for example, options to something that we can do today, underlying exchange traded equities, that's something we have in our portfolio as well. I think it's important because, people will have different cases, not everybody wants to, CFDs are there for easy access, but there are other people may have, other demands, so I think it's very, very important. And especially in the context of this market, I mean, it's actually more quick point, we've just launched 2 synthetic indices, the DFM index and then the ADX index. And we're actually the first one to do it. No one offers it in the industry because you can't trade on the, the Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange and the Dubai Financial Market. You can't trade the actual indices. So we've kind of launched the products to replicate that. So I think it's just showing another, angle, how you have to tailor your products, to the region.
Not just about having an offer, it's not just having the options, it's also showing that
that's right
from that local asset that they want to, which can't be done on a global scale.
No.
Or it's something that we had an article with our team this week that I looked at, and it was all around this with cocoa producers in Africa. These traditionally haven't had access to the future market because you have to go with several $billion.
That's right.
Whereas we can obviously offer them a derivative product, but we can also offer them the same as they want, which is the future aspect, but much lower margins, much lower capital adequacy, and these kind of things. Are we seeing that kind of approach from, let's say, gold market with more diversifying for that edging risk with bank rate forward curves? Are we seeing it with that move in the oil sector? Are we seeing that kind of growth and moving to derivative products, do you think?
So, I mean, significant percent of our, let's say, trading flow is in gold and to an extent, oil. And if you actually break it down, a lot of it is happening in the future. So, we have 2 types of CFDs. We have a cash CFD, future CFD, and we're looking to add the, both basically the exchange traded futures into for our customers and also the OTC, traded futures for larger transactions. So, we are seeing growth in both of these 2 instruments. And I guess especially looking not just at the UAE, but looking at countries in the Middle East as a whole, gold futures and, oil futures is a significant percent of the transactional volume.
I think, just one of these instruments, so we don't have to, without you say we'll be on the post enough yet. But it just shows off the managed region. Now you've got this hard direct revenue generating instrument. Listen, for us, it shows that we are, it's just another world that we behind. There's all edits behind the scene. And when you look at it, as Pavel mentioned, it was majority of most regions from the US indices made just slow. But in reality, for us, it's still showed up in, I've done that work and the various I think the kind of compounds the effects, the other effects of the emptying of instruments are building trust with stability.
So we obviously discussed before how, the payment options, why we're here. So obviously we have the bank account options. We're obviously onboarding digital, so you can see whether it's Saudi Arabia, it's more far in Egypt, all these digital payments. Are we in Dubai in the MENA region as a whole starting to see individual companies grow, or like something how they would feel about, the growth, the impact that Revolut is starting to have? Do we see that as more of an option, or do you start to see there? Or these companies started to pop up with solo organic organizations doing digital payments going day?
Yeah, I mean, so you would just be
Probably SPs, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Like it's never ever changing, right? So like for us, we're functions that are very soft as very fundamental at us, but I think you just want to use that as much first. We have to say on the platform, have to be aware of the changes and the credential wires and the tied wire, yes. And for that, we're kind of doing the first about any mode. Also for very good people, was the strategies in play in terms of having very certain expertise on the ground. They can get our feedback very good. We can understand what's that for his company areas that what's needed to be delivered. Feedback that B client was needs to be client centered in the America. It is over. If there is an amount of I'm the hardly have got that. Then I would like to have the everybody as keep that with the packaging out of quite the police.
Obviously we discussed with the licenses going on the links. For scope, obviously, what's the reason for taking a license, and obviously what's our expansion plans going forward over the next 12 to 18 months?
Well, our immediate goal is to, ensure we have that, so we can offer products and, like the products to the local market. We can employ people here locally. We can expand, especially when we talk about some of the, business development teams. So I think that's kind of the goal. Obviously, Dubai has become Middle East or UAE as a whole has become a bit of a hub. The industry has been sort of moving east, for a number of years. So I think it's important to have the presence. There's an amazing talent here in the market. And so obviously from here, it acts as a launch pad for us to then go into other markets, both in the Middle East and then further afield.
So final point, something you discussed just before was about there where institutional, big institutional, you mentioned about several brokers, if not more than we already have here. Do you see us as being somebody who's cutting out the middleman and offering that institutional to retail traders? And what do you see the proposition of scope? Well, what is that vision for going into the retail equity?
Yeah, I mean, I've had some earlier as well. I think for us to be able to be this 1% of us slightly that off, and eventually, as I say, we want to be kind of credit myself. Now we see a good amount of volume to track them for other vertical in the region. Of course, it's natural that with our licenses, it's opinion saying you can't be proud, but we want to. That doesn't necessarily mean that, you don't have to invest in institution. Say, creating the distribution we want. You will. And I think that's going to be either up to the other.
It's something that obviously might be bluntly. Is that something that we're going to get looking to do in the future? We're based product of offering those kind of things, or are we going to be focusing more on the path that's going to so the
Yeah, I think that direction is important. I might agree. They then mentioned a Brenton earlier. You're out in the hard right if the other but in you guess that. Having that localized visibility, and I think for us, we kind of want to leverage the expertise and advice on a while, the relationship with the example with various temp strategies, the whole these strong businesses themselves. And I think for us, we're kind of working on this growing, the whole side of also improving the knowledge of our too. And
the customer experience is a gem. And that's, as we say, it's not just about that quick onboarding, the quick deposit, the quick withdrawal. It's that homogeneous attitude of looking forward, looking after the client from the beginning to the end. I think something that most brokers and everything is all about kind of life cycle span. You want to find to come to you, enjoy the first experience, enjoy while they traded you. Even if they decide to stop trading, will they go in the way with that?
That's right.
Good opinion. And I think obviously that's something you focus on. Was good.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for the time, guys. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
And we'll be back in 20 minutes with our next vlog.